Alright, we're going to be checking out a headlight mod I did. This cal's for the 2022 Brozz 250, sold by P Sports out of Georgia. This is the factory headlight housing. It's your bog standard. It's got a H1, I believe, bulb. I'm not sure what size the running light is. Standard adjustment. But you can see I've made some modifications. So this housing is meant for a 35 watt bulb. 35 watt bulb was just simply not enough. So I put a 55 watt Sylvania Ultrastar Ultra in it. I believe that's what it's called. And it melted the top of the housing. Let me see if I can get an angle on this. I don't know if you see that aluminum tape in there. That's it. It melted the center right around here of the housing, and it started to droop. And I didn't realize that until after the ride. But I started the ride with the 35 and ended up with the 55. And this just wasn't working. So my initial thought, being an IT specialist by trade, was active cooling. So what I did is, on one side I cut cooling vents, and these space up nicely with let's see if I can get it on camera. In between the two reflectors there is a space, so those vents line up with that. You can see on this side that is a 5-volt PC cooling fan from an ultra small form factor computer that I salvaged. And there's a hole underneath here, and it sucks air through that gap there. So what I did is I adapted its wires to a USB plug, and I took a Dollar Tree phone charger, spliced the wiring, soldered on new connectors to essentially have a switched 5-volt supply for this headlight whenever my dash lights come on. So that's with running lights or headlight, high beam or low beam. And to be honest, I didn't run this. I played with it a few times, and that was about it. And then I found this. So what this is a $30 LED with running light KTM replacement headlight for their motorcycles. Obviously you can see it doesn't fit perfectly, given the shape of the original headlight versus this one. I think it fits well enough, though. I think it's still good looking. It fits in there well enough that a passerby would just go, that's a nice looking headlight. So what I did, and you can thank Zoffinger, I forget, kayak guy. He does some really cool stuff with fishing and whatnot from kayaks. He made a video about using PVC for things like this. So what I did is I took a piece of, I believe this is Schedule 40 underground rated gray electrical PVC pipe. I think it was 1.5 inner diameter. I cut some strips out, I heated them up, and I made brackets. So, come back around here. These are strips I cut that I heated and folded to get to the shape I needed, to the size I needed, to hold this KTM replacement LED to the Brozz fairing. And then down here, what I did is I took a wide piece, cut a slit out of it, made a riser with a set screw. So what this allows me to do is use the KTM, Chinese factory, whatever, sizing slot to adjust the rake of the headlight. So I still have adjustment with an aftermarket headlight in a socket it's not supposed to be in. And that works great. I got it adjusted earlier. 37.5 inch with suspension droop at 25 feet, and I brought it down about 4 inches because my driveway is a little crooked. But this easily handled that, and I have room to spare. You can see, I think here, that I have room to adjust. There's plenty of adjustment. As far as the wiring is concerned, let me into this. So, let me get there. The ground wire and the driving light wire. So black is ground, driving light is white. These are the same pin connections as the Brozz 250. When you move to the top, high beam and low beam versus the Brozz 250 are swapped. And so what I did is they include with this light a rewiring kit. So it comes with a female version of this plug and another male version. So what I did though is I just rewired this one. So I don't know if you can see it. See inside there are little metal tines on the sides. All you have to do is depress those and then pull the wire out. So the high and low beam were swapped on the KTM light from the factory. So low beam was here, high beam was here. All I did was flip flop those wires. So I depressed those. Oh, let me get it to focus. Focus, you fack. Come on. All right. I depressed those little tines. Pulled the pins, I guess you call them. Pull those back out, and then swap positions, and I put them back in. And this is an immediate plug and play for the Brozz 250. So you have your, let's see here, these stripes down the side. These are your running lights. So it's just your daytime running light. These light up. They're not super bright. This is going to be your low beam, and then this is going to be your high beam. So your low beam is going to create a long, flat pattern. Okay. And based on my fingers, what your high beam is going to do is stack a rectangle on top of that that's about like that, but twice as high. So you've got your low beam here, and then your high beam there. And it's a good light pattern. It's incredibly bright. And I think with the method I've come up with for mounting this, it is a good looking option as a replacement headlight. So I just wanted to make a little breakdown. If you have any questions, concerns, shoot me a comment, and we'll take a look at your bike, your wiring, your housing, whatever the difference may be. But yeah, that was about it. I just wanted to give a rundown. Shout out to China Rider Forums. That's where it's going to be posted for first come first serve essentially. But this is a really nice upgrade. I think I came up with a really simple solution for mounting this thing. I mean, anyone can get their hands on a 4-foot section of Schedule 40 PVC for a couple of dollars. A heat gun, maybe a lighter if you take your time, a candle, whatever, and you could recreate all this. And this is all the factory screws. So those two screws and this one came with the aftermarket KTM light, and then these 4 screws are the original screws that came with the Brozz. So I just want to make a little video to wrap up my modification of this fairing and of this headlight, and maybe give other people some ideas on what to do with theirs. So appreciate taking time to watch. Catch you next time.